Hello Army, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to dive deep into one of the most anticipated topics for fans all over the world. After the phenomenal success of Jimin BTS's album MUSE, we finally have some revelations about the secrets behind the making of this incredible album. And guys, the stories I'm going to share today will truly help us understand why MUSE became a masterpiece that touched the hearts of millions worldwide. Before we start, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell so you'll always stay updated with exclusive BTS content. And trust me, after hearing all these behind-the-scenes stories, your appreciation for MUSE and Jimin's artistry will reach a completely new level. Okay, so let's begin from the very beginning. The concept for MUSE actually started long before the recording process even began. Jimin had already started writing and conceptualizing for his second solo album right after the release of Face. He didn't want to simply repeat a formula that had already worked, but instead, he wanted to push himself artistically and explore a completely different emotional territory. The most surprising part of the whole creative process was the revelation that Jimin went through a massive creative block at the early planning stage. Despite the success of Face, or maybe because of that very success, he felt enormous pressure to deliver something equally impactful but that also showed his growth and evolution as an artist. This pressure actually paralyzed him creatively for several weeks. The turning point came when Jimin decided to completely disconnect from external expectations and just focus on what he personally wanted to express. He took a short personal retreat, away from Seoul, away from the studio environment, and spent time reflecting on his emotions, experiences, and artistic vision. During this period of solitude and introspection, the concept for MUSE gradually began to take shape. What makes MUSE so special is the deeply personal nature of its concept. Unlike Face, which explored his struggles and journey through darkness, MUSE is about the search for inspiration, connection, and meaning in different aspects of life and love. It's more mature, more nuanced, and requires listeners to engage on a deeper emotional level. The title track "Who" has a particularly fascinating backstory. It almost didn't become the title track. Initially, Jimin and his team considered a different song as the lead single, but something about "Who" kept pulling him back. The central question of the song, about searching for someone or something that completes you, resonated so deeply with his own emotional state at the time. The recording process for "Who" was incredibly emotional and challenging. Jimin revealed that he re-recorded the vocals multiple times because he wasn't satisfied with the emotional delivery. He wanted every note, every breath, every pause to convey a specific feeling. The producer who worked with him mentioned that the level of perfectionism and emotional investment Jimin brought to the sessions was unlike anything they had ever seen before. Another incredible aspect was the collaborative process for MUSE. Jimin worked with a diverse group of producers, songwriters, and musicians from different backgrounds and genres. He intentionally sought out people who would challenge him creatively and push him outside his comfort zone. This collaborative approach resulted in the sonic diversity we hear across the album. One of the hidden secrets of MUSE is the influence of classical music and orchestral arrangements. Jimin actually spent months studying classical composition and worked with an orchestra arranger to incorporate sophisticated musical elements that elevated the songs beyond typical pop structures. You can especially hear this in tracks that feature string sections and complex harmonic progressions. The lyrical content of MUSE also went through an extensive development process. Jimin was heavily involved in writing and conceptualizing the lyrics, working closely with lyricists to make sure every word accurately reflected his intended message. Some lyrics went through more than 20 revisions before the final version was approved. What's particularly touching is the revelation that certain tracks were inspired by real conversations, real moments of vulnerability, and real questions Jimin was grappling with in his personal life. This authenticity is what makes MUSE resonate so deeply with listeners. The visual concept of MUSE was also carefully crafted. Every music video, teaser, and promotional image was meticulously planned to create a cohesive artistic vision. Jimin was involved in every aspect of visual production, from costume choices, to set design, to cinematography decisions. His attention to detail was so precise that shooting sessions often extended beyond schedule because he wanted to capture exactly the right mood and emotion. Behind the scenes, there were numerous challenges during production. Scheduling conflicts, technical difficulties, and even moments of self-doubt threatened to derail the project. But Jimin's determination and commitment to his artistic vision kept everything moving forward. The support from fellow BTS members also played a crucial role, with each member offering encouragement and feedback throughout the process. What made MUSE's development even more complex was the timing consideration with military service. Jimin knew he had limited time before enlistment, which added extra pressure to complete the album to his satisfaction. This time constraint actually forced him to be more decisive and trust his instincts, which ultimately contributed to the cohesive and focused nature of the album. The marketing strategy for MUSE was also carefully calculated. Rather than overwhelming fans with content all at once, the rollout was designed to gradually build anticipation and allow each element of the album to be fully appreciated. This strategy contributed significantly to the sustained chart performance and long-term success. Vocal preparation for MUSE was incredibly intensive. Jimin worked with vocal coaches to expand his range and develop new techniques that would allow him to express emotional nuances in the songs. He practiced specific passages hundreds of times to achieve exactly the right emotional color and technical precision. What many fans don't realize is the amount of experimental recordings that never made the final cut. For every track on MUSE, there were multiple alternative versions, different arrangements, different vocal approaches that were recorded and considered. The selection process for the final versions was painstaking, with the team listening and deliberating for hours about which version best served the song's emotional intent. The dance elements and performance aspects of MUSE were also carefully choreographed to complement the musical content. Jimin worked closely with choreographers to create movements that weren't just technically impressive but also emotionally expressive. Every gesture, every movement in his performances had a specific meaning and purpose. Collaborations with featured artists on the album required careful coordination and mutual artistic respect. Jimin approached collaborations as genuine partnerships, valuing the input and creative contributions of each artist involved. This collaborative spirit resulted in the chemistry you can clearly hear in the final recordings. The mixing and mastering process for MUSE took longer than a typical album because of the obsessive attention to detail. Jimin was present at many mixing sessions, providing input on even the smallest sonic details. This hands-on approach ensured that the final product sounded exactly as he envisioned from the very beginning. International appeal was a consideration for MUSE, but never at the expense of artistic integrity. Jimin wanted to create music that could resonate globally while staying true to his personal artistic vision. This balance between accessibility and artistic depth is one of the reasons why the album achieved such broad success. The emotional journey of creating MUSE also contributed to Jimin's personal growth. Working on the album forced him to confront vulnerabilities, explore complex emotions, and articulate feelings he had previously kept private. The process of creating art also became a process of self-discovery and healing. Fan reception was considered throughout development, but Jimin maintained a firm boundary when it came to artistic decisions. While he deeply values ARMY's opinions, he recognized the importance of staying true to his artistic instincts rather than trying to please everyone. This artistic courage is evident in the final product. The success metrics for MUSE exceeded expectations on multiple fronts. Chart performance, streaming numbers, critical acclaim, and fan response all validated the artistic choices made. But for Jimin, the most meaningful success was knowing that he created something genuine and meaningful. Looking at MUSE in the context of Jimin's overall artistic journey, the album represents a significant evolution. From Face's exploration of darkness to MUSE's search for light and connection, we can see an artist who is continuously growing, questioning, and reaching for deeper truths in his work. The legacy Jimin hopes to leave with MUSE isn't just about commercial success or chart positions. He wants the album to be remembered as an honest artistic statement, a piece of work that encouraged listeners to explore their own emotions and questions about love, connection, and meaning in life. technical innovations in the album's production also deserve mention. The use of unique recording techniques, experimental sound design, and innovative mixing approaches pushed the boundaries of what's possible in contemporary pop music. These technical achievements, while subtle, contributed significantly to the distinctive sonic character of the album. The documentary footage of Muse's creation, some of which has been released and some still private, shows the incredible transformation from the initial concept to the finished product. Watching Jimin's creative process unfold is a masterclass in artistic dedication and perfectionism in the pursuit of authentic expression. So ARMY, after learning all these behind-the-scenes secrets, doesn't Muse hit differently now? Understanding the depth of thought, emotion, and effort that went into every aspect of the album makes us appreciate it on an entirely new level. Jimin didn't just create an album, he poured his heart, soul, and artistic vision into creating a cohesive artistic statement that will stand the test of time. These revelations about the creative process behind Muse show us why Jimin is considered one of the most dedicated and artistically serious performers in the industry. His commitment to authentic expression, his willingness to be vulnerable, and his relentless pursuit of artistic excellence are truly inspiring. What aspect of Muse's creation process surprised you the most? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like and share this video if you gained a new appreciation for the incredible artistry behind Muse. Until next time, keep supporting our amazing Jimin and remember to always appreciate the depth and dedication behind the music we love.